hating blessings after edification. It's a spiritual war, Bible and weaponization. I'm trying to build a nation. I know oppressors hate it. Thought crimes is what they claiming, premeditated motivation. Guilty by dedication, guilty by determination.
It's been a minute. So shalom. I'm gonna make this one short and sweet. Like I said, we down here in Colombia. You know, you can have a look around in the little spot I got down here. I say we because I take Israel with me everywhere I go in spirit. You know, hopefully the Most High blesses to set up a zone out here to get the word out, Mount Zion, and out here in South America. This is a spot right here. This is where I'm at right now. Let me put this shirt up. This is where we at out here in Colombia. Got the little spot overlooking the ocean. The little jacuzzi, you know. Got Asher down there doing their fishing, it looked like. You know, Esau down there on the jet skis and the water boat and all that. This is what we're dealing with right now. We're down here in Colombia, in Cartagena. So hopefully the Most High set it up so we can be out here. So this is where we at. You know, got the little jacuzzi out there. So this is where we at right now, out here in Cartagena. This is the front room. I guess you can lift this thing up right here to see the ocean. This is where we at out here in Cartagena. The incident out in New Jersey. This is just hey yo, I shared a video with General Yohana from ISUPK. That video is on my YouTube or on my Facebook page. That video should have about 30,000 shares, man, because that brother really held it down in that video. Satan came at that man full force, attack. You know, he came with everything he had, and he let him know straight up, like, yo, I'm gonna come at you. You know it. And he came at him with everything, and the brother just stuck to the script and brought out the principles that we live by.
We have, you know, tons of brothers in here, and none of them are going out shooting people.
But you know that people are going to put this on you.
Oh, they're trying
because they're going to say, hey, it was the same group.
They're going to try to put it on us, but they can't put it on us because our record has shown. Even the Southern Poverty Law Center had to retract and say that Black Hebrew Israelites are known for no violence.
Like and share that video, man. Get the word out, man. Esau is blasting us on a high level. He's coming with everything. He got just another classic example of how the demon is the evil and the wicked. The people that hate God and his people are coming at God and his people on a high level. So I got the video on my Facebook page. So like that joint and share it to get it out there, because they putting it out there, man. They put it out there against us. So put out the truth and stop being scared, man. I done received 1,000 phone calls from brothers and sisters dealing with how, you know, whoa, what's going on? You know, when Trump came in office, oh, what's going on? When this incident happened, oh, what's going on? What we gonna do? All hell's gonna break loose. I'm gonna tell you like this. When I got into this truth, I knew what I was signing up for. So it's whatever. You know, we're gonna do what we gotta do. We're gonna put this word out in truth and sincerity. You know, and we're gonna use the scripture. We ain't gonna go by our own vain opinion and how we feel about things. So big up to the brother for doing that interview. He held it down. I seen where they starting to retract a lot of their statements. And if y'all remember, just this year in 2019, Esau had to do the exact same thing, where he had to retract statements and lies that he made in his media about Israelites, man. He had to retract it. Why? Because the truth was recorded on another platform and medium. You see how you can't trust the demon? Because he'll put his story out and he'll spin it the way he want to spin it, man. He's been exposed for being a liar he is, man. Damn guy got one picture of some image that somebody did of a black Jesus Christ on his page. Daggone didn't even bother to read that it was way back in 2014 and it's 2019 a day. Halfway scholarship. Ain't even following through with what he doing, man. When we do things, when we look up stuff and we do breakdowns and all that, We try to cover all bases: who, what, when, where, how, why, and so on and so forth. They don't do that. He said, "Oh, Black Jesus, Hebrew Israelites, they're a terrorist group. Go get them." No, it ain't working. It ain't gonna work. And the brother held it down on that joint. So go to on my page. It's like probably a couple posts down because I don't really post a lot. It's got Commander General Yohana, ISUPK, and Satan came at him with everything he had, and the man handled that demon. I like the way he did that. That was beautifully done. He did it exactly protocol. He did it just like somebody that came out of the teachings that we deal with. Obviously, this devil don't operate according to God's law. He don't deal with the Most High. He is against the Most High. He hates the Most High and his people. And we can prove it by reading what he said about the evil and the wicked. He said, those that hate me in Exodus, the 20th chapter. He said, I show mercy to those that love me and keep my commandments. I visit the iniquity of them that hate me. So that's how the Most High is dealing. That's Exodus 20th chapter. Exodus 23:1. Thou shalt not rise a false report. And that's exactly what that was, man, a false report. That guy was not in the truth. He was not an Israelite. He was not a part of any group. And he was operating on his own authority. We're against that. We're not for violence. We don't have a known history of going out there with guns and starting to shoot every damn thing up. We actually clown and come and condemn and come against it. I actually hate that. I hate that that man did that because he made us look bad as a people, not just as a group, because he's not in our group anyway, but he made us look bad as a so-called African-American, so-called black race. Just like I made the comments a couple weeks ago dealing with that dude, Muhammad, when they did the DC sniping. I hated that that was a brother. We don't want that on our record of going out being a mass shooter, a terrorist, and all this other stuff. So when brothers when brothers do stuff like that, you know, we come down on them for doing that. And actually, we come down on anybody, regardless of what race you are, for doing anything against what God said. That's what we do. I don't give a damn if you black, if you Latino, Native American, if you white, if you Chinese or Japanese. But it's funny how we come down on everybody. We come down on Jake more than, I feel like we come down on Jake more than anybody else. That's how I feel. We come down on Jake. But somehow it always gets spent back to, what about the white man? What about the so-called white man? Even though we stress over and over and over again that it's not about your skin color or your appearance, because those people that's got so-called white skin, some of those people could very well go back to the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, meaning and making them Israelites. So we don't deal with racism for skin color. We deal with, are you dealing with the Most High's commandments or are you violating them? Even if you're a heathen or a Gentile, a heathen is a Gentile, somebody's not an Israelite, and if you sinning, you get blasted. If you're a Jake and you sinning, you get blasted. If you're a Hebrew, or if you're what do you call that, a heathen, and you're doing the Most High's commandments, what can we say about you? What can we say? We can't say nothing, but you give us plenty of ammunition on a regular basis to burn your asses up. That's the problem. You give us ammunition. Anybody that give us ammunition, we're going to blast. Period. I don't care what race you are. And that's how we dealing. And what they do, they violated this New Jersey City shooting and with MAGA hat incident back in early 2019. Thou shalt not rise a false report. Put not thy hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. And that's what we got, an unrighteous witness. And we against that, man. We ain't with that. We're going to speak against that. We're going to call you a devil for doing that. You a demon. You following Satan. You violating what God said. Micah 2. This is what they doing. The problem is, obviously, they got a problem with us. Why you got a problem with us? What's the problem? We know why you got a problem with us. Christ told us, know that they're going to hate you because they hated me first. The servant is not greater than the master. So they're going to hate us. They don't hate Al Sharpton. They don't hate T.D. Jakes. They don't hate Creflo Dollar or none of those sellouts. They don't hate none of them. Even, what's that Nation of Islam dude, Farrakhan? They don't even hate him, but they hate us. They doing smear campaigns against us. They sitting up there plotting, looking for reasons to come against us. And what the hell did we do to anybody? What did we do? We don't do anything to anybody. People come up and try their best to throw us off our square when we out there in the streets teaching. And they looking for us to jump on them or come with a reaction. And they get mad when we burn them up. And when we burn them up, we actually burn them up with love. What is the love? With the commandments of the Most High. And we burn them up with that. We heaping hot coals upon their head. And that's what we're going to bring out. And what they doing is they plotting against us. So anything ever happened, they want to try to throw the blame on us when it wasn't us. It was a Negro operating. He might have watched a couple of videos, or he might have seen, oh, Christ is a black man. Anything black, woo woo. You know, a lot of people is anything black, woo woo, but they're not in the congregations. They don't come to classes. They ain't in the camps. They ain't holding the lines. Those people ain't got nothing to do with what we doing. And the camp is, when we on camp, we doing pure basics. You ain't getting no meat at all whatsoever on camp. That's why when we in camp, we trying to get people into class so they can learn the law. That's what we trying to teach them. So what we seeing is a classic example of them plotting against us, coming against us for no reason. Micah 2:1-7, woe unto them that devise iniquity and work evil in their beds. This is a classic example of that. When the morning is light, they practice it because the power is within their hand. Now, who did this? The same people that's plotting on us, another people, also does this. They covet fields, they take them by violence and have and houses, take them away, so they oppress a man and his house, even a man in his heritage. So the same people that's plotting, lying, scheming on another group of people also executed this. And we know who did that when we look at the history. It says they oppress a man in his house, even his heritage. Therefore, thus saith the Lord. Anytime there's a therefore, thus saith the Lord, now we got a problem. You don't want to hear that if you on the opposite end of that. Behold, against this family do I devise an evil. So it ain't us. We ain't the ones you got to be worried about. What the hell is this problem? What the hell is the problem with us just speaking what he said? He said this. We didn't come with any threat. He says, God is the one who you need to be calling a terrorist. God is the one who you need to be fearing. And God is the one that says he's going to come down and bust you up. He said, therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, against this families, when you go back to, Amos 3:1-2, let you know family is talking about nations. So against this nation, do I devise evil? So God is plotting on them. He says, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall you go haughty. So all that pride and all that, you ain't gonna get outside. You ain't gonna get away from this. Ain't nothing you can do to get away from what God got coming to you. So stop worrying about me, a little Negro in the projects and ghettos dealing with Negroes. For this time is evil. And in that day shall one take up a parable against you and lament with a doleful. Doleful means a saddened, dreadful cry, a lamentation, sorrowfulness for you, and say, we be utterly spoiled. So they're gonna say they utterly spoiled. They're gonna be utterly destroyed. He hath changed the portion of my people. How hath he removed it from me? Turning away, he divided our fields. Therefore, thou shalt have none that cast a cord by lot in the congregation of the Lord. So they ain't gonna have nothing to do with us or the promise or none of that. He said, it says, where we at? Okay, he says, prophesy ye not, say them that prophesy. So this is the problem. They have a problem that we're going out and teaching. We ain't doing nothing else but teaching. So that's the issue that they got with us. So now they want to make us terrorists because we teaching. So me teaching that a man should not steal is a terror to you? I mean, what the hell is that saying about you? If I'm telling a black man, stop being a rapist, stop selling dope, stop stealing, stop robbing, and stop murdering, that is a terror to you? Come on, man. That says a lot about you, just to jump to that conclusion. It says, they don't want us to go out there and prophesy. He said, prophesy, he says, I'm going to read it again from the top, number 6, Micah 2:6. Prophesy you not, saith them, to them that prophesy. They shall not prophesy to them. So you're going to get what you want. The Most High said there's going to be a famine of the word in the land. We coming up on a time where ain't none of this word going to be taught nowhere. So you're going to get what you want. But when that happened, Jeremiah 16:16, now the Most High is going to send hunters. So now God is going to send his divine angels to come down here to destroy the people. That's wicked. So it's better to be getting these fishers than to be getting those hunters. So you saying we don't want the fishers, we want the hunters. The Most High says he's going to grant that. That they shall not take shame. Verse 7. O thou that are named of the house of Jacob, is the Lord straitened? Are those his doings? This is the key point in the scripture right here. So do not my word do good to him that walketh upright. So if you really doing what the Most High require of us, then you should like what we say. You shouldn't have a problem with what we bring out. You should be good. But since you evil and you wicked and you diabolical and you satanic and you just Satan's seed and you just burnt up when we come with this, man. So now we a terror because you burnt up by the words of the Most High. We don't believe in going out there shooting nobody. We condemn that. Mount Zion stances, we against that. That brother did that. He got what was coming to him. The Most High told us if we go do something like that, then we're gonna get. He said, "Woe unto that man that." In Matthew 24, he says that loseth patience and start to smite his fellow servants. Woe to that person means destruction to that person. So that's what we got coming when we do stuff like that. So we condemn that. We come against that. We ain't with that. We ain't with no attack on nobody, man. We do on people what we want done unto us. Proverbs 16 and this is what we come with. Proverbs 16 and 2. It says, all the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes. So that's what that man was dealing with. He was dealing with in his own eyes. Because if he was in a group, and this is why I got a problem with brothers coming against camps and groups, organizations. Me, I don't give a damn what organization you in, what group you in, just be in one. Those individuals saying you ain't got to be in the camp, that's off. The problem I have with that is you just obviously don't want to deal with any form of structure. That's the whole issue, man. You don't want to deal with structure. Just keep it real and bring it all the way to what it is, man. You don't want to deal with structure, order. You want a man telling you what to do. But we all got men telling us what to do. I'm going to head over my camp, but I still got one of the high priests, one of the 7 generals in the old school One West calling me like, yo, what you doing over here, brother? What's going on over there? And I'm giving account to this man. You know what I'm saying? So we all got people over us, man. It don't matter what leader you are in what camp, man. We all accountable. And the real leader, when you read Yahushai's words, he says the greatest is going to be the least. A minister means a servant. That's what it is, man. It ain't no God king trying to be like one of these heathens or anything. He said don't exercise dominion over you over each other like the Gentiles. How we gonna be tyrants over God's heritage? So that's what we dealing with, man. So you ain't got to be in my camp. I don't really care. You ain't got to be in my group, but I'm saying be a part of a group, a body, a congregation. People like that guy that shot that man, that ain't got nothing to do with us. That shows me that man was not under order. He was not under structure. He was not getting counsel. The scripture tells us in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Proverbs 17. So how you going to get multitudes of counsel if you all by yourself doing your own thing, man? How you gonna get counsel? It don't make sense. How you gonna keep the law? You ain't even keeping the law if you ain't with a group. The Bible said every Shabbat you got to come together and have a holy convocation. What is a convocation? A set apart gathering. Who are you gathering with? Gathering on YouTube or Facebook or group on Instagram, that don't qualify. He says you got to have a set apart gathering 3 times a year. You got to gather, keep the feast, the whole high holy days, and every Shabbat you got to keep the Sabbath. A holy convocation. Read Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. He said you have to gather. How do you gather if you all by yourself? And then when you don't gather, you got a man that's running around as a damn lunatic, psycho, wacko, murdering people, and now we get the blame for it. No, that man is operating on his own authority. I know just about every leader of every camp in America. I got access to those brothers, and don't know none of those brothers move like that. None of them. All those brothers operate with order, structure. 1 Corinthians 14 and 40, let all things be done decently and in order. So if you got a problem with us operating with order, that's your issue. You just don't want to submit to a man. And we know what it is, man. God said in his law, man. If you ain't doing that, then you ain't walking in his way. How you doing the work? Well, I'm doing the work. I'm talking to people here and there. Nah, that ain't doing it. That's not getting it done. When you in the camp, when you out there in the group, when you in the streets, that word is going out on a high level. And we dealing with damn 200-300 people a night. And even if you're not on the line, if you're not speaking or if you're not reading, we have brothers that we call floaters that's handing out flyers and that's explaining one-on-one to people the truth. So if being a part of a group, you're doing the work on a high level. Not being a part of the group, you're violating the law. Speaking against the camps is off. You know, so we don't speak against camps, not in Mount Zion. We don't do that. You know, we support brothers. We get behind brothers. Anybody can come into our city and stand with us if you're a part of a camp. If you're not, then, you know, it is what it is. And if you're a part of a camp, we're going to get hold of your leaders and we're going to see what the deal is. So Proverbs 16:2, when it says all the ways of a man are right or clean in his own eyes. So that's what that man was dealing with. But the Lord weigheth the spirits. So we're dealing with spirit. We're dealing with was that John 8:31-32. Those Jews that heard his words and kept his sayings. He said, now you are my disciple and you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. He said, those that worship the Father must worship the Father in spirit and truth. You can't find nowhere in the Bible where it says pick up an AR and go out and start murdering people. It don't say that. It tells them, I'm going to go through it. It's how it says we're supposed to deal with people that comes against our people and come against us. Verse 3, it says, commit thy works unto the Lord. So you got to submit to what the scriptures say. And thy thoughts shall be established. The Lord hath made all things for himself. Yea, even the wicked for the day of the wicked. So the Most High has created that man that's doing atrocities against the so-called black race. That man, woman, or child, regardless of what race he is. I don't give a damn. Even if he is an Israelite. If you coming against Israelites on a high level, then the Most High is going to deal with you. So it don't matter. Stop trying to tie it to y'all hate group, y'all racist, y'all just hate white people. We don't just hate white people. It ain't about white people. It ain't about your skin color. It's about nation. Now, verse 5. So he created, verse 4, he created the wicked for the day of evil. So he put them in place to beat us down. They doing what they supposed to be doing. And he created them to destroy them. Anybody that did that partook in that. Verse 5. See, when you're dealing with this verse 4 with Esau, the Most High knew that man was the man for the job. He knew that man was going to do it. He already knew the end before he did it. It ain't like he wanted Esau to come down on us and beat us down to dust, but it had to happen once we started sinning. That's why we say let's stop sinning so we can stop getting beat the hell down. But our people is dealing with such a high level of pride. They don't give a damn about nothing but themselves and their ego. And they willing to let your child get shot and murdered because they don't want to get in order. That's the problem, man. That's the issue I got. When something happened to a so-called black child, when your son gets shot, if anything happened, the police come and beat you down to the ground, blame you because you won't get in order. You need to blame yourself. You don't want to get in order and do what God said. You want to keep his commandments, so guess what's going to happen? We're going to have to pay for what you're doing. That's why we say, damn, man, you're going to repent. You're going to get in order. What's the deal? Verse 5, everyone that is proud in his heart, and that's the problem. We got brothers don't want to deal with groups because they proud in their heart, is an abomination to the Lord. Though hand be joined in hand, he shall not be unpunished. Going back to, we can't save nobody. We got to get ourselves in order. It starts with family, then it starts with community, then it goes to nation. And that's how you built the nation. That's how we come up out of hell. Verse 6, by mercy and truth, iniquity is purged. Not by somebody picking up an AR-15, going out and murdering and shooting it up with the police. That's not how it's purged. He said by mercy and by truth. That's why we go out there and blast the truth. And by fear of the Lord. So that man obviously didn't fear the Lord. It says men depart from evil. So you going out there taking matters in your own hands, that ain't gonna do nothing. You like damn near like you fighting against God. You're gonna lose that war. That's why we don't like you ain't gonna see in our camp. Can't speak for other camps, but you ain't gonna see in our group where you got men on there flashing guns and all that other stuff, where people shooting it out and all that. I understand brothers did that and they say they want to protect their families. That's cool, but me personally, I wouldn't broadcast it. I got a whole arsenal of weapons and I don't you don't know, you don't see all my stuff. I don't broadcast it, but people do what they do. I only speak for my people, for people in my group. Verse 7. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies be at peace with him. So that's why we focus on serving the Lord, fearing the Lord, repenting, And then when we come into a situation with the devil, we get pulled over by a police. We go back to what Christ said, and then we conduct ourselves accordingly. 1 Corinthians 10:4, because the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. This is a classic scripture. We got to go to this one. But mighty through God pulling down strongholds. Do you know what that means? Mighty through God pulling down strongholds. A stronghold is a castle. It's like a fort. It's like something that's set up like a military army of mighty force. But when we go to God, he just destroys all that. So instead of you going to try to fight that force with a damn gun, you're going to get blasted to dust. He said, you got to give it to the Most High and be spiritual. And that's what's going to destroy that stronghold, which is like that castle, that tank, that missile, that whatever. What's going to stop that is submitting to the Most High, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. So that's what we're dealing with, the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. And we know that carnal means fleshly. Fleshly, which means you're humanly desired. You're getting mad and getting pissed off because of what's going on with your people. So you pick up a gun. And I'm not even saying that's what that dude did. I don't even remember his name. I don't even know him. I don't even know nobody that know him. And like I said, I know camp leaders. There's certain groups that just like isolate themselves and they to themselves. They don't want nothing to do with nobody. They don't even salute you. Cool, y'all want to do that? No problem. Peace from a distance. And then you got brothers that's like, yo, it's all about the nation. The hell with camp. You know, my camp is here to bring people to the nation, not my camp, not my nation here to bring people to my camp. You got people actually calling their camps Israel. But anyway, whatever. So he says carnal, fleshly. So carnal equals fleshly. So that guy was operating according to how he felt. And when people come into our camp, we let you know straight up, we professional. Professional means not personal. That's what professional means. You don't get personal. You don't take... People can come out there and say whatever they want. Last week, some dude said that all blacks are dumbasses. I didn't say, oh, you hurt my feelings and hit him. No. I said, okay, boom. Well, let's go do what the Bible said about that. And just burnt him up. That's what that did. God's word burnt him up to the point where he like, yo, I gotta run. We had a huge crowd, about 30 people, and they're like, yo, this word is too potent. This demon in me don't like it. So they had to roll. So you don't do what your carnal flesh wants you to do. You got to submit to the Most High's counsel. Romans 12:17. Recompense no man evil for evil. That's why we stay professional. We don't take it personal. When somebody come up against us or in any circumstance of our lives, the first thing we do is look at it spiritually. We don't look at it carnally. So if wife going off, we look at the spirit. Children going off, spirit. The boss coming at you, spirit. And that's how we learn how to manhandle those spirits when you read through the scriptures, through Proverbs, through the law. He said, recompense no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of men. So we operating at a standard. This is how we rolling. We professional. We transparent. Whatever we feel, we say. And what you see is what you get. This ain't no secret society that we dealing with, hiding behind the scenes in the damn backwoods somewhere training for some kind of war. That's not what we do. What we do is come out there on the streets and we blast. And people see that. It ain't no secret. And then you going to hear, go to some of the tapes. You're going to hear black men being blasted, black women, Chinese men, Chinese women, so-called white man, Arabs, Muslims, Christians, everything that don't line up to the Bible gets blasted. It's transparent. It's not no secret society, secret cult group. No, none of that. That's what they do, not us. We don't manipulate or brainwash nobody. We don't coerce anybody to do anything that they don't want to do. We just submit to what God said. Verse 19 or verse 18. If it be possible, as much lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. So we don't go out there to fight. I mean, only time we've been in a few squabbles, but that's only if people were so out of control where they started attacking us. Like one one Edomite came up to the camp, threw a napkin at the brother, and then tried to rush a brother, and he got split. You know, he had what he had coming to him. The police came out there, he's blood everywhere. He landed in the middle of the street, 1,000 cops. They take him off, and we keep teaching. Because we're dealing with professionalism. We had a few different situations. Elder Karash was teaching. Some dude came up to the camp, said, I tried to commit suicide. He showed us the pictures. Karash said, well, damn, why didn't you finish the job? And he tried to attack the brother. The cops took him to jail. It wasn't because we sold out or we were part of any Illuminati group or nothing crazy. It's because he was going off. He tried to attack us. The cops seen it and he took him to jail. It's just that simple. Verse, he said, be peaceable with all men, with everything you got in you. So if it ever do come to a point where it's a physical confrontation, that's because every form of managing the peace was exhausted and we trying to protect ourselves from getting beat up. Verse 19, dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves. So when they do stuff to black people, we don't say, all right, troops, time to rally. We're not the, what do you call that dude? The Khalid Muhammad type of group, type of movement. We don't say we about to go to war and we're going to take arms against the white man. We don't say you do this to us, you hit us, we're going to hit you back. That's not how we move. We understand that we powerless. We don't have anything to combat anything that's happening to us, man. So when somebody do something to us, the only thing we can do is go to the Most High, and then the Most High sends a storm and wipes out a whole damn city. That's how it operates. So when you get earthquakes, storms, hurricanes, when you get these natural disasters, what they call them, when you read the scriptures, I believe, where's that at? Is it Nahum? Nahum, that's what's coming to mind. I don't know. But he says, God have his way in that whirlwind. So that's what when you see storms come through and wipe out all those trailer parks, you know it's the Most High. Give place to wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, and I will repay. And this is what they don't take heed to. They wonder why everything keep happening to them bad. And we know why, because the Most High said, I will repay. He do everything he said he's going to do. Verse 20, therefore, if an enemy hunger, what are we supposed to do? He said, feed him. I know brothers don't want to deal with that, but it's in the word, so I got to submit to and yield to every word in the book. If he thirsts, give him to drink, for in doing so thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head. And then when I showed them love by blasting them when we was out there teaching for calling us dumbasses, the black race dumbasses, that put coals of fire on his head and he had to get the hell up out of there, man. Ruin his whole vacation. Ruin his whole year, man. Maybe his life. Verse 21, this is the key scripture. This is the head chopper. And this is what kills that whole terrorist thing. This is principles that we live by in the truth. Because when we in the truth, that means we submit to the words of Christ the Most High. And this is his word. He's our leader. He's the real leader. If you want to consider somebody a terrorist, you got to consider him a terrorist. And he said this, be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. So don't get to the point where, oh, enough is enough. I just want to go hurt and destroy something. The scripture said, be ye angry, but sin not. Ecclesiastes 7:7, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. So only people that's not being mad is those people that took the gift that destroyed the heart. So most people that don't stand up for the oppression that's happening to the so-called black race, they don't want to mess up their job. They don't want the boss to see them. They don't want, to be spotted. They don't want to mess up their good living situation in America. And that's why they don't come out there and they don't get angry. They don't rise up and join the camp and speak like, yo, that's off, that's wicked. You need to stop doing that. That's off, that's wicked. You need to stop doing that. The main focus of what we do is tell people to keep God's commandments. I don't give a damn what race you are, white, black, whatever. Keep the Most High's commandments. The scripture said it clear. That's the whole duty of man. That's the reason why we was all created. So that's what we tell people to do. That's our message. We're against the violence. We're against the terrorism. That guy had nothing to do with no group that I know of. He was acting on his own accord. The brothers, General Yohana did a beautiful thing bringing that out, man. He brought that out superbly. I don't know if you could have brought it out any better than that brother did. And the brother Yadawa from our camp dropped it. Check out his video. The brother Joel from Sons of Thunder, the Sons of Thunder dropped it. Check out their video. That was his hood, man. That was excellent information those brothers brought out. So check out brother Joel. Check out Deacon Sakari. I seen that he dropped one. And that General Yohana one, man, that one was dope. So share that joint so everybody can see it, so everybody can stop saying, oh, Hebrew Israelites is terrorist killers and monsters and bloodthirsty. Nah, we come against that. We speak against that regularly, man. That's like, that gives me my platform. You going out to do bloodthirsty stuff is what give me my platform to blast you with. So I'm like, yo, Even when that guy in California shot up that school, whatever his name was, they say he was Moab, but he was actually Esau. I'm like, yo, please don't be Jake. Please don't be Jake. Please don't be Jake. And it was Esau. So we don't want to be the ones that look bad doing stuff like that. We like when other nations look bad so we can talk about it.
I got paid in blessings after edification. It's a spiritual war, Bible and weaponization. I'm trying to build a nation. I know oppressors hate it. Thought crimes is what they claiming, premeditated motivation. Guilty by dedication, guilty by determination.